While many players and content creators are focused on whether or not they want to take this expedition, there doesn't seem to be enough discussion on ways that you can fast track your progression once you do your wipe. After taking a break from Arc Raiders while I waited for the expedition, I decided I would do a test run to see if my post-expedition strategy would be successful. I'm happy to state that I'm confident in my post-expedition strategy and want to share it all with you today. This is my strategy to have the best start next wipe. To create this video and proof of concept, I had to invest a lot of time into an alt account and start from scratch. If you appreciate the work I do and would like to see more like this, you can show your support by subscribing and hitting the bell icon for future videos. While you wouldn't have some of the limitations I have here due to the nature of creating this proof of concept, it should provide a strong visualization that I tested myself and found relative success in what I believe is the shortest amount of time possible. When you begin, you'll start with nearly nothing. The first major step we're going to take is to focus on getting blueprints that you cannot get or blueprints that you automatically obtain through questing anyways, and focusing specifically on getting the Hole Cracker blueprint. What we will be doing is using free kits to handle a majority of these quests, all the way up to the Major's Footlocker where you get the blueprint and get them out of the way so we can focus on other priorities. There are quests that require some investment like keys, at which you would bring a kit, but generally speaking you can mitigate the risk and build a small stash by using free kits. You want to do this for essential blueprints like Hole Cracker because questing later becomes redundant for the extra drops you receive. You would no longer need them later. So if you're using this and having multiple successful runs, you can likely start stacking together what you're using to compound your gains. An example, some of these quests will give you augments, shields, weapons to use that would otherwise be useless late game. If you're struggling with remembering any of the quests that you have done before, Troubleshoot Basics has great guides on how to complete nearly every quest if you ever get stuck in the process. On screen and in the description will be external sources you can use to help you in your journey, and to help you choose which quest to prioritize to get the Hole Cracker blueprint. You can do a majority of your questing in 3 to 10 minute runs compared to a traditional loot run, and this would allow you to stack lots of materials from Scrappy as well. Stacking the core materials like metals fast is going to be a surefire way to prevent you from spending a lot of cash on things like ammunition, shield rechargers, and the easier to craft quick slot items as needed early on. Because you're doing runs so fast and grabbing only accessible loot along the way, free kits don't run out of ammo with the overbearing amount of loot, and you can quickly re-enter raids left and right as soon as you accept quest. When it comes to accessible loot, the priority should be monetary items so you can quickly upgrade your stash, future quest items that you can remember, or workbench upgrades. The amount of time you spend topside will be drastically lower to complete your quest and clear up later time to be able to focus on that juicy loot. When it comes to your excess loot, this loot will be sold off to buy stash space when possible. This will be the way to maximize growing your stash while completing quests at the same time. If you can, keep any materials that you recall being used for workshop upgrades and future quests. This will prevent issues in the future with not being able to find the items you need or being gatekept by the need for a specific item. Once you finish the Major Footlocker's quest, you'll have the Hole Cracker blueprint. Likely you'll have a good chunk of your stash base unlocked too. If you're not a completionist freak like me and like to have all your quests out of the way, you could either finish upgrading your stash base or begin hyper-focusing on specific materials you need for workbench upgrades. Most of the extra materials will be easy to get a hold of if you're an experienced player, but reference loot guides if you're struggling with specific pieces of gear. As you can see here, I have only spent 3 hours and 40 minutes topside, but I have the Hole Cracker blueprint, a decent amount of stash base now, and you would have more if you went through the expedition, as well as most of my workbenches upgraded to level 1 if not level 2. I wanted to keep it relatively short so that people can focus on actually doing it and not so much on the minute details. If you have any questions or want a more robust video, please let me know in the comment section below. I would be happy to oblige. This has been Sky, and I will see you topside.